Hello, Unstoppable Writers. Today I want to talk to you about 3 curses of being creative and 3 ways that we can overcome them. The first, before I dive in, if you are here live, go ahead and type in here. If you are watching the replay, put replay. I always love seeing who's here, catching your smiling profile picture, being able to welcome you. So if you're watching live, go ahead and put in here. If you're watching the replay, put replay. And the first curse of being creative, and you might be able to relate to this, is that everything that we are trying to create starts as an invisible idea within our brain. And so it's so easy. We have all these creative ideas, and I have this very distinct memory when I was in middle school. I had been reading these books about unicorns and flying horses, and I would go to sleep at night and I would have these vivid dreams of horses that looked even better than the books I was reading or the cartoons I was watching. And the next morning when I would wake up, I would grab my pad of paper and grab my crayons, and I was so excited to capture these stunning images in my head. And then when I went to actually put them down, I realized that my pictures were falling short of this creative idea that I had inside of me. And so that is one of the challenges that we face as creatives, is that everything that we're trying to do, we're trying to create, and even the word create, shares this struggle that we are trying to take something that's invisible and put it on paper. And often as creatives, it's very vulnerable to kind of live with putting our ideas, that inner world that we have, out. And so my strategy for you to overcome the vulnerability of being creative and the task of taking these invisible books, invisible stories, invisible pictures, and actually putting them on paper, my strategy for you is to show up. It sounds simple and it's actually really hard, but to continue to show up for yourself, show up at your computer typing, show up with the pen and paper, if you're sketching, just show up and continue to do the work, because they have actually found that there's a correlation between the quantity of what we produce and the quality. So often, they actually did a study, sorry, my brain is thinking about which story I want to tell here. They did a study of students who were taking a pottery class, and half the group, they told them, okay, your only assignment for the whole semester is to create one perfect piece. That's it. Create one perfect, great piece and you get an A. The other half of the class, they told, your only job this semester is to create as much pottery as you can. The more you create, the better your grade will be. So have fun, go create. The interesting thing between these groups is that the group that was creating in quantity ended up having the highest quality of pottery, of vases, they had the highest quality. Whereas the group that was completely obsessed with getting it right, with getting it perfect, they did not produce the quantity, and so as a result, their quality was much lower. So my encouragement to you today, and I don't know how you woke up, maybe you woke up today on fire to keep writing, on fire to keep going, and if that's you, yes, keep going, keep being that unstoppable writer. Or maybe you woke up discouraged, and if you did wake up discouraged, I want to encourage you to continue showing up to your writing, continue showing up to your work. Okay, the second curse and challenge that creatives face is that it's so easy to compare. It's easy to see people who are further along than you, who have more books published, but the antidote to that is being connected. And I love how even, if we think about Jesus in the Bible, even he had people that he was intimately connected with, people he would pray with, he would ask to pray for him. And so as a creative, it's so important to find friendships, to find connections. And so my question to you today, to find your antidote to comparison and isolation, is who are your people? And you may have a whole group, you may have one, you may have yourself at this moment, but that's something that I have found on the creative journey, on the writing journey, is that I do move faster when I have people that care in my life, when I have people I can process with, ask for encouragement, because as we create and share those invisible thoughts and feelings and stories, there will be criticism, there will be challenges that come up. And so having your people to continue cheering you up, those people who won't let you give up, who tell you, no, don't take that criticism as the final word, don't take that rejection slip as the final answer on your book, like keep going, keep trying. So I would love to know in the comments, do you have those kind of people? Feel free to put their name or just say yes. I love hearing from you as you're watching here. The third challenge that creatives face is fear. And we run up into fear at different points of our journeys. I know for myself, it's so easy to want to protect those ideas, those stories, and even protect myself from vulnerability, from showing up live, from showing up in real time with people. And the antidote to fear is really courage. And so I just encourage you today to find your antidote to fear is think about something that scares you with your writing journey. And it could be actually sitting down to write. Perhaps your office is currently impeccably clean because you've been avoiding your next writing session. How do I know that? Because I do that too. Or perhaps the scary thing is actually sending your book or your writing to the agent that was recommended to you. Perhaps the scary thing is doing a live video. I don't know what it is for you, but I just encourage you. The way that we grow is by showing up, by getting connected to people who care about us, who care about our work, and by courageously doing the things that scare us. So I hope that encourages you today. I love being creative. I did not always think that I was creative growing up, both in school and out of school. I was definitely caught in the comparison trap and thinking, well, I'm not as talented as so-and-so, and they're definitely creative. Oh, and they're confidently creative. And because I wasn't confident growing up, I really struggled to accept my creativity, to actually believe that I was creative, and to really commit to sharing the stories and the ideas and the words that God was giving me. And yet, throughout these last years of committing, of stepping out, of building a business around my books, my speaking, my copywriting, I have just seen the power of trusting God with our gifts and using them to serve people, and just the amount of growth that has brought. None of us has ever arrived, yay, we're at the end, we know everything. Nope. I was talking to my 5-year-old this morning and I told him, Eli, do you know that mommy is still learning? And he was like, no, you know everything. And while we may wish that were true, that we would simply arrive and know everything, we're not. So I just want to encourage you today, embrace the journey. Decide that you are going to be that unstoppable writer, that unstoppable creative. And I cannot wait to see what you create today. Feel free to come back to the video and post a link, or post a link in the video saying, here's what I did, or here's the scary step I took. We would all love to cheer you on. Okay, have a great rest of your day. Bye.